Okay, you were talking about your little one. You took a little
Yeah,
hiatus. Was it a little difficult coming back to the business after having a break?
Yeah. You know, I was with a really big major label. I was at Columbia, Sony, and so now I'm with Koch. Well, E1 now, they changed the name, but so it's a smaller, you know, place. But they're very young, successful company. But their successes come from like hip hop. But now they are branching out into other genres. So it's kind of nice to be the only singer there. You know what I mean, and not have to fight for attention with all the other, you know, female singers that were at Sony. So it's kind of nice, and something about the energy at the label, it feels really good. You know, it's like a grassroots, like hardworking people. It's not this huge publicity department with like 10 publicists. No, it's just one, and she's working so hard. You know what I mean? So something about that was really cool, you know, to me. And at this stage in my career, I thought it was a good place to be. You know, because I'm more of a, you know, a live artist, and you know, I speak to women. You know what I mean? So I think that there's longevity in that. So being at the right place is like really important for continuing to build your brand. You know, because everybody is not the same level artist. You know, I mean, smooth jazz artists have careers like forever, and they play huge venues, and you know what I mean, and they have really great careers. And I think people don't realize that, you know, singers can be, everybody doesn't have to be the huge, ginormous, you know,
to still be successful.
Star. You can still be successful, have a great career, you know, and have a pretty nice life, you know, if you work it right. So I think this is a really good place for me to continue to do that. And I'm really happy with it. I really am. And I went to other major labels, you know. Thank God they actually met with me, and they wanted to meet with me and see, you know, if I wanted to make their label my home. But after we went to 4 different places, and I just loved E1 the best. Because all the other places felt like where I already was, and I didn't want that feeling. I wanted a different feeling, you know. So I really like it there. So, and they work really hard again.
So with all that you've done, I mean, you've been in the business for how long?
8 years.
But it seems like so much longer. And
I mean, if you include like the Boyz II Men stuff, and you know, singing with Jill and doing Cindy, I was a teenager, you know. So I was 17 when I wrote the Dear God for Boyz II Men. So that's 10 plus years.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and you've seen the business kind of change, I think, from both sides. But who are you listening to now? Who really kind of gets your ear?
Oh my goodness, I
mean, you better say Jill Scott for one, right?
I love so many people. No, I mean, I don't think I have to say that. I mean, well, we're cool. We good. Who am I loving right now? I love Jasmine Sullivan, and she's from Philly, you know, as well.
So
you know, like Jill and I. So I love Jasmine. I love Algebra, who's actually from here. Yeah, she's a dear friend of mine, actually. Hey, girl. I love. Oh my gosh. I love Robin Thicke as well. And I'm actually a really big fan of his very first album that a lot of people don't probably know about or didn't get. I love that first album that he had. So I think I listen to, you know, not necessarily music that just came out. It doesn't have to be new. You know, it doesn't have to be new. Yeah, you know, because, you know, I'm always listening to Ella live in Berlin as well, you know, so I'm always pulling out a throwback to listen to. So it's not always about what just came out on Tuesday. I'm grabbing, you know, so yeah. But if you're talented and you have a voice and you can sing, you have something to say, I'm probably a fan, you know.
That's good.
I'm probably a fan.
And you've worked with so many, written for so many. Is there somebody that you'd like to work with or write for that you haven't?
I don't know. It's probably a long list. So with that said,
that's a long one. Yeah. So you're just a student of the industry and just I guess a lover of those that are in the business.
Yeah,
appreciate it all.
People who have really great talent. Absolutely. Yeah.
So what would you say? And this is that common question. What would you say to somebody trying to get in the business, and you've been blessed, like you said, to do it for a moment, take a hiatus, and now come back and still find success? What would you say to those folks that are trying to do it once or twice? I mean, trying to do it all.
You know, I think that people's perception of the business, you know, is often like, you know, improper. You know, it's not the proper perception, and they think it's, you know, about things that it's really not about, glitz and glamour, but there's so many other things that go behind it and into it, and it is work, and you do work hard, and you do have to be dedicated. So that's the first thing I would say. If you really don't want to do it, if you want to do it because you just want to be on TV, then I don't think it's a good idea.
Right, not the business for you, but it's hard work.
Because it is hard, and you have to be prepared to be rejected. You have to be prepared to be heavily criticized and critiqued and scrutinized, and that's hard. So if you're not prepared for that, you might get your feelings hurt a little bit. You got
to be thick-skinned. Plus, you got to be ready to leave your family a lot, right?
You have to be ready to travel. Yeah, but even just the entrance into the business. I think everybody probably has a story where they went here, there, and there, and these people said no, or they said they weren't, an artist, or they didn't have the right look, or whatever. You got to be ready for just how you're going to get in, because it's not going to be easy. I don't think that it's easy, because you got to know somebody, and it's very difficult to get in. I think just getting in can be frustrating. So to somebody trying to do it, I would just try to encourage them to keep on keeping despite whatever negative things you might hear, and if you believe in your music, to just keep trying to do it, because you will come across those stumbling blocks. It definitely happens.
Absolutely.
Yeah.